Yeah, that's my biggest concern right now for TSM's composition. It feels like that you have a Zillion that, while, like, he just attempts damage later on into the game. Like, where is it going to come from? Of course, Senna can be that when you get to a certain point in the game, but that's where my concerns come from. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they can find huge advantages up towards the top side of the map. This Nidalee Renekton combo is, of course, very terrifying. But already, level 1, Genji looking for an invade.
Pushing in, going to get bombed by Bjergsen, but no level 2, no rewind for Bjergsen. Means that their double bomb stun cannot connect, and Cliff just runs straight through it. He's actually going to channel his recall here, and it looks like they've just gone in to see if they can gain some vision, and then decided against...
Although when you're running with the double-ranged comp of the Karma and the Ezreal, there's going to be a lot of harassment. But here's Spica, level 3, looking for the gank.
Aggression can cost you as Spica comes up towards the top lane. Rascal trying to trade onto Broken Blade, but Broken Blade almost wins the 1v1, has to flash away. Spica now jumps forward and swipes away the bear. First blood TSM.
Jungler as many camps as possible, and like, look at that CS differential between the two junglers right now. Clid is already level 6, Spica's still level 5, and even though no kills are happening in the early game, Spica is really feeling this disadvantage. And the thing is, it's not even his fault.
Yeah.
There's nothing he can do about it. He doesn't have that pressure in the lanes. He has a Zillion in mid and a Renekton up top that's just getting bullied.
He's looking down towards the bottom lane right now. Spear doesn't land as Ruler flashes away from it. Spica trying to do what he can on the map. One of the youngest players at Worlds. The last embrace connects, and Ruler has been caught out here. Spica dives forward, his second kill of the game. Life forced away, TSM finding picks where they can.
All right, I love this play from Doublelift, really stepping up here in the 2 versus 2, doing very well in the farm department, and is like, I'm going for this. Flashes in, lands the root, no Ruler doesn't have any escapes left, makes it easy for Spica to get the follow-up, and TSM advance their kill advantage to 2-0.
Even though his Nidalee is still to be feared, 4-1 first Worlds appearance. Well, first World's Groups appearance, he's doing a pretty strong job, but being caught out just a little bit here. Loading Lullaby coming in, Biofrost looking for the charm. There's the Dawning Shadow as well, Showstopper. Going to bring Spica back, but he's got the Chrono Shift on, and he's going to come straight back to life. And now Clid is caught out of position as Broken Blade closes in. The True Shot Barrage rattles through, Bjergsen goes low, but now BDD is the secondary target. Life coming in to help out. Rascal can dive bomb in the storm, bring up a Biofrost, dancing around Broken Blade as much as he can. The Facebreaker is going to pull them back. Biofrost has to use the grand entrance to have a grand exit. And TSM were able to find 1 kill in the fight.
Secure themselves potentially the next Rift Herald. Now Rascal has found Broken Blade.
BDD is on his way down and has the Ghost can pop it if he thinks Broken Blade overextends. There's the Dominus, a slice and dice is going in, and now Rascal running up the river to the help of BDD. The showstopper available here for BDD, and Broken Blade, we have seen him outplay a 2v1 before, and the rest of his team is on the way to try and help out. The showstopper brings it back underneath the tower. The the Chrono Shift just in time. Broken Blade survives. Rascal has to flash away, and that bomb is ticking on his head. Doesn't quite take him, but the Dawning Shadow from downtown. Doublelift gets his first of the game, and Spica is looking for a little bit more as he lands the spear, looking for the pounce to dive in onto BDD, but will not go for it. Ruler, though, flashing in the top lane, or jumping in, sorry, with the Arcane Shift to try and catch out Doublelift. Biofrost now dives back onto Life. Doublelift doesn't really want any more of this fight, knows he doesn't have the ult, and knows that Ruler and Life are just that little bit stronger right now.
Oh, really clutch stuff coming out from TSM to keep Broken Blade alive. In the 1v1 with the Blade of the Ruin King already completed, Rascal greatly overestimated his ability to win it, and he needed BDD's help, and I thought that when BDD ulted him back underneath the tower, that was it, but Flash comes in from Bjergsen just barely enough to get in range of the ultimate to keep him alive, and they're able to get themselves the bot tower. So they end up trading, but then with the Rift Herald on top of that, Genji extend the advantage even further. So they're now 3 towers to 1. They still have a 2k gold lead, and while they're behind in kills, the gold is still heavily in the favor of Genji. This time around, he's able to disengage, and still the river is still completely dark from the perspective of TSM.
Yeah, Biofrost tries to put a control ward in, but it's immediately going to get swept away. Broken Blade has moved himself into the mid lane. Does still have the TP if he needs to get to a fight with any urgency, but for the moment, Spica is the one being forced away. BDG going in with the showstopper. TP comes in, and look at the last embrace. Look at the Dawning Shadow. Look at the damage from TSM. Life and Clid immediately have to disengage as BDD now runs back to the rest of his team. There's a flank potential here for Rascal, but you're flanking all 5 members. All you're doing is catching yourself out. He has to run away. Gets down on all 4s and runs through the river. That was a great fight for TSM as BDD overstepped.
Now, what has been used? Well, a lot of ultimates are gone. Broken Blade ultimate's gone, BDD ultimate gone, but there's still Bjergsen ulti, and there's also still Clid's ulti. So both these teams are looking for a fight. Flash in from Broken Blade.
And you can see Ruler immediately has to flash away. He knows if he is stunned up, he is caught up.
but TSM are kind of being danced around from two different sides right now. They're afraid of the Rascal collapse, but they're also getting poked out by Ruler. Meanwhile, Clud has gone back to base. He's now back in the fray, and if he lands his ultimate, here it comes.
Got the Looting Lullaby, and Double Lift is the target. They dive in on him. Broken Blade has to dance himself away, but now Double Lift is caught up in the midst of Gen G, and he will get taken out. Gen G get one. Rascal still chasing Biofrost away, and this will be the third dragon of the game for Gen G.
What looked like a great initial team fight for TSM ends up falling apart because Gen G just buys so much time. You could see that TSM wanted to commit to that fight in the bot lane. They were like, let's go, 4 versus 5, chase, chase, chase. But then they see Rascal behind them and they're like, oh.
BDD here caught out just a little bit by Speaker, but he's got an adaptive helm and a dead man's plate, and he doesn't give a flying hoot about any of this. Bjergsen coming in with the TP as well, does have the Chrono Shift back up. BDD's going to show stop at Biofrost back. Bjergsen almost taken out, has to use the Chrono Shift on himself. And once again, look at this, wherever TSM, they can't get there in time. Bjergsen dive bombed in with the Stormbringer, and BDD punches him to death. The Zillions down Biofrost, and next on the menu is the Mystic shot finds its mark. Double Lift trying to dance around as much as he can, but it's a double for Ruler, and Gen G have broken this game wide open.
TSM tried to force a play onto the top side of the map. BDT was the target that they went for, and it did not come through. Speak is going to be executed on the hands of Clud in his ultimate, and Gen G will be able to lock down the Baron.
And Ruler flashes the Samsung Galaxy emote. Last time these two teams met was 2016 Worlds, where Samsung Galaxy and TSM went 1-1 in the group stage. Ruler, the only player left standing on power play. They have a lot of different options. They are looking at the moment to split BDD down towards the bottom lane. Rascal goes up top, and it's kind of a traditional 1-3-1 here, Venix.
Yeah, I think that with the Baron buff, they can kind of just do whatever they want. I think that no one can really deal with BDD in the bot lane. Notice that he is, I think, the highest level in the game right now outside of Bjergsen. He is extremely tanky, and no one's really going to be able to kill him. Bjergsen can hold him, but while he generates pressure bots, they can just play through mid and top. And like this forces also a lot of the wave clear from TSM to disappear because he's forced to sit in the bot lane. And that then makes it easier for Gen G to actually set up these sieges, so they can now push in mid, move through the top side jungle, threaten the top tower, and slowly make their way closer and closer to TSM space.
Bjergsen trying to clear out the wave here. BDD just punching the tower for all he's worth. Biofrost looking for an engage. Ward comes out. Ruler able to dodge just to the side of the spear. Swell Seed goes wide, but Ruler actually stepping forward here. Trinity Force and the Mura Man are already stacking up. He's got a QSS, and he's on his way to a Death's Dance next, I would assume. Chips away at the tower. Essence Flux doing a lot of work, of course, to these objectives. You can see it getting chunked out there. Rascal still in the top lane just by himself. BDD almost finished this tower, and Biofrost actually looking for a flank position here. This could be what TSM need. However, Clid, aware and awake to the danger, puts the sleep onto the Rakan. And watch out, Eep Biofrost, as you have to dance across the wall to get yourself to safety. Meanwhile, the middle inhibitor tower goes down. Broken Blade on the menu for Ruler. He's on a killing screen now. 3-1-3 on this Ezreal. And the True Shot Barrage rattles across Biofrost. Flash forward, Mystic Shot. Doesn't quite connect, but that's an inhibitor down in the mid lane. And next up are these Nexus towers. TSM retreated to their base, and Gen G are just taking everything they can in a heartbeat. Bjergsen trying to clear out the wave, hits the quickness from Biofrost, gets onto Ruler, but Ruler uses the QSS to get away, and Double Lift is dumped into the team. And now with the towers disabled, Ruler and co can just sweep them away. The Nexus, the target, Speaker forced back to the fountain, and Ruler's playing with his food now. Biofrost chased away by the Ezreal. Bjergsen and Speaker back on the base, and Ruler are going to go 2-0 up in their group.
Gen G with a commanding performance from start to finish. They utilized the early pressure in their lanes extremely well, and while we did see TSM finding a number of picks, a number of kills, it never really translated into anything. Gen G moved around the map extremely cleanly. They constantly stole away enemy jungle camps, and again, it's just a great example of how to utilize that pressure from your lanes. A great example of how to play around this Lilia and how devastating she actually can be. Overall, great performance from the Gen G squad, and definitely a return to form, I would say, compared to what we saw after yesterday's game.
I agree with that. I think Gen G had a good showing on the day. There were some signs of life in TSM as well. I think Biofrost had a much better performance today than he did yesterday. His Rakan, there were some really good moments where he found engages. Speaker as well, even though he fell behind, was still finding those picks, was still on the front foot. And that is always a good thing to see. But going 2-0 down in this group makes it a very difficult road now for TSM. They still got LGD, who really challenged Gen G yesterday. And And then, of course, they've still got the second round robin against Fnatic and Genji as well.
Yeah, so from TSM's perspective, they